Welcome to Overdrive AF, the official podcast of Overdrive Fitness. My name is Teddy Gerzon, and I'm joined by Gina Marie Gerzon.
Hello, everybody.
As always with us, Destroyer putting it together.
What's up?
And then Titan and Brajol. Insert Arsenio Hall filter noises.
Are you making me sad?
So, this is our Independence Day broadcast, right? For those of you watching YouTube, you can see that if you didn't know already, I'm never not prepared for America's birthday. So, I'm loving my chubberalls right now.
Yeah, had to give you your room there.
And we had a ridiculous heat wave in New York this past week, but it cooled down to like 60 degrees today. So the first thing that Gina says when I walk into the gym this morning was, "Aren't you cold?" And of course, my response on a weekend like this was, our forefathers forged a frozen river to build this fucking country. So no, I'm not going to complain about the cold on the birthday of America.
Toes froze off and all.
Yes. Fucking Captain Morgan on the front of the boat.
Gangrene all over the place.
Nice
Just
try,
all
King George III. Fucking loser.
Scoreboard.
That's a good one. I like that one. That's got to be a t-shirt somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
I bought some pretty...
If it's not, we're making it.
I brought some pretty cool t-shirts, tank tops, really, the past week. Two of them are actually Point Break tank tops. I'm pretty pumped to get those in. One of them says, "Back off, war child, seriously." And then, speaking of Point Break, we saw Fast 9.
Yes, we
The
did.
John Cena one.
The John Cena one. And we actually saw him in it.
Pre-booked the seats.
Yes.
Right in the center of the theater.
Yep.
Dead center.
Those were good seats.
They were great seats.
Yeah, we saw a Sunday matinee, 12:30.
Yeah.
Palisades Mall.
In the midst of the heat wave.
Mm-hmm. And we were not quiet during the movie.
I don't think anybody was.
You can't be quiet
No.
during a movie.
Yeah. It's like, if you're quiet, you have no soul.
Oh, no.
We were like, whoa!
Whoa, is yeah.
Oh, shit!
Cheering at points like clowns.
Yeah.
Much? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you get.
Teddy had to pee 4 times though.
I know. I had to.
I'm
I
like,
got up.
seriously, again?
It was
Again?
so bad. I don't even know what was up.
I think you were so excited you ate through all your popcorn and your whole soda.
I was.
So
2 sodas. I refilled it.
you oh my
Yeah,
that's
one
why.
of the pisses I refilled
That's what.
it. Yeah.
Now I understand.
Yeah, but like, I was getting so nervous in the first like 10 minutes. There was so much action.
That's what I
was
mean.
just like, I was like, oh my god. I made that fit my macros though, as you can tell by my weigh-in this week.
Great, perfect. Yeah. It's all about that's what it's about at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Making it work.
Yep.
You mean family?
That's right.
So yeah, it was a great movie. I suggest everyone sees it. I heard that one of the reviews of it was, if you love the Fast and Furious movies, you'll love this movie, and if you hate the Fast and Furious movies, you'll love this movie. So, I mean, I can confirm that.
Okay.
So yeah, 4th of July, there will be fireworks. All right. What are your plans for this weekend?
Just spending some time with the family on the day, and probably
Laid
some
back.
sort of grilled food for lunch and or dinner.
Yum.
You know, just the classic stuff. I'm sure we'll have some sort of view of the fireworks from afar.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Be chill.
yeah,
Chill is good.
laid back.
I'm thinking of like overeating on the 4th of July
Yeah,
by like at least
an obvious move.
1,776 calories.
Oh, that makes sense.
Set the new macro goal.
There you
Yeah,
go.
because then those are free calories, right? Because everything is free on the 4th of July.
So is it really a refeed?
It's more of an homage. So yeah. Anything else we need to cover? Oh, did you get any miles in this week? It was fucking hot.
It was a pathetic 11 this week because I went out Monday. I was like, Monday was 93 and incredibly humid. But I
Yeah.
was like, this is probably the best it's going to get all week. So I went out and, tried to go my whole route. And I almost made it a full 6. But then, as I was nearing that, hill, I was like, I can't justify this today.
It was hard to breathe.
Yeah. And then the next 2 days, the other day I was busy and couldn't exercise, but then the day after that was the worst of it. So
Wednesday?
I was not going to run. I did get some strength training in though.
Nice.
In the AC.
Excellent.
Did you run Tuesday?
No.
I ran Tuesday. That sucked.
I was in Brooklyn on Tuesday and just walking around
R.I.P. Biggie.
and to pay our respects. And just walking around was brutal. Me and a buddy of mine, we were looking for a restaurant. We picked one, but we wanted it to be sure that it had indoor dining so we could sit in some air conditioning.
Yeah.
Walked all the way to this place. They allowed us inside to order, but not to sit down. They even had tables, but the tables were just covered in stuff, and we were like, "Can we use that?"
Were they
and
not
like, no.
Wow.
So then we were just wandering around looking for a spot. We
It's
we were standing in front of this restaurant, and the woman came out of the restaurant and was like, "You guys got to get in here. It's too fucking hot. Just come in. I'm sure. I can guarantee you our food is good enough. Just get in."
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Imagine it's the food's not hot. It's because it's
Yeah.
a sauna out
They
here.
cook it outside.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Farm to table.
I ran yesterday in between the rain.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it was just conditions were not ideal.
No.
For
Not if you're trying to live.
yeah, if you're trying to pass out in a puddle of your own sweat, then
That's where
maybe
you should
this was for you. But
definitely go back to. Yeah. Going back to how we hydrate properly and how we prepare properly for days like this in
Yeah,
one of our recent podcasts.
yeah. Got a pickup game in on Sunday before the heat wave really hit, though,
There you go.
Awesome.
and I was on it. The record does not reflect how well I was playing. It was a real, I don't know, I guess Bradley Beal type situation.
Okay.
Good stats, bad team. I was hitting hook shots, jumpers.
Jeez, Des.
Was your back hurt from carrying all those guys?
Yeah, I was extra tired. But yeah, brutal stuff.
That's where you put the I in team.
Yeah,
There's no I in team, but there is in win.
yeah.
Who said that? Was
No.
it Kobe or Jordan or
I
something?
think that was MJ. It sounds like him.
Yeah.
I think you're right, Des.
But
I dig it. So, I guess the topic of the day we'll just get right into, right? And it's something that we have to talk about every year. I wouldn't even say I get mad about it anymore, just because it's such a regular occurrence. And it's the topic of lifting and stunting your growth. Will training stunt your growth, right? And in my opinion, and I know a lot of other people agree with me, when you see a lot of high school athletes these days, in recent years especially, they don't look like young men anymore. I remember in high school, you would see, we were all boys, right? Teenage boys. But then every now and then, every team had at least one, right? For most schools at least. And we called him a man-child. It would be a 17-year-old kid that was a defensive end, but he was 6'3", 230, with a full-grown beard that he's had since 8th grade, right? You don't see that anymore. Everyone looks like a bunch of little fucking boys, even at 19, 20, 21, and I don't get it, right? But, the best athletes out there, they're only getting better, right? So, your level of elite athletes, the bar is getting raised every year. If you want to keep up with that, you have to have a body that's strong, fast, resilient, on top of the cognitive skills to be able to play your game, comprehend situations, and react appropriately. And we've been in this situation where parents only want their kids doing speed and agility. Now, I always say this, because it's not even my thing, right? But it's true. You could be strong and not powerful, but you cannot be powerful and not strong, right? So you could bench press 500 pounds, but be the slowest person to throw a punch. But you can't run a 4.240 and not be able to deadlift or sprint or squat a decent amount. Like, I'm not saying you have to squat 1,000 pounds, but I'm sure you could squat 135, right? And it's just mind-boggling to me. Like, you know, what do you think all these ladder drills and, you know, hurdle jumps are gonna do for an 8-year-old who is like 30 pounds underweight? You're not going to put any stress on the body for the bones to calcify, get more dense so they can withstand breaking a bone, right? Which still happens a lot. We have a girl coming back who broke her collarbone in November and is just ready to come back now in July. And how'd she break it? Well, she was playing varsity soccer as an 8th grader. She got tossed, like feet taken out from underneath her. And she didn't have enough time to put her arm out to brace her fall, so she landed on her shoulder and she broke her collarbone. Right? I believe in God, but that alone isn't going to be enough for you to withstand any pain on the field. So you're going to actually have to work.
Yeah, and as we know, those fancy ladder drills and all these specialty, you know, things that you see on Instagram, that doesn't train you for the sport. And the sport is literally could be anywhere at any time in any direction. So when we train, we always train for the specific, right? It always transfers to the sport, right? It's not who's going to be moving exactly in and out, or side to side, side to side, side to side in that exact specificity. That's never going to happen, right? When we train, it's always for it to transfer to at that moment. You don't know exactly what degree you're going to be turning, rotating, stepping, moving. So the athlete has to be able to react just as quickly as they move, in what direction and at what time, back, forth, whatever. And right, like even in Wolff's Law, that the bone will adapt to the stress placed upon it. And in the majority of the situations, that is the case. The genetics, the specifics, maybe for that person, that anomaly might not be the ideal situation, but for the huge majority, that is always the case. Building bone upon bone, if you were to slice the bone in half, you see the layers that have formed through time, years, pressure, stress, environment, and such.
Yes.
The bone grows thicker, stronger, layer upon layer, the more we put on it. And the tendons and the ligaments and the muscle tissue obviously grow in conjunction with that stress. And again, becomes more resilient, more explosive, more powerful, denser in all respects. Blood volume increases, nutrients to the tissue, and that goes in all directions, right? Soft tissue, not so soft tissue. Vascular tissue, not as vascular. It still helps all in all. So totally agree there.
Yeah, it's just like I know a lot of parents too. Another thing too, they're fearful of their kids lifting. And let me set this straight too. Like when a youth athlete comes in, especially between 8 and 12 years old, we're not putting a barbell on their back. All right, they're going, like, their strength training will be like lunges, step ups, you know, some sort of a safe hip hinge. It doesn't have to be a barbell deadlift, right? It could just be showing them how to pick up something heavy off the ground. Like it could be anything, right? But clearly they're not doing it. So we're making them do it, right? I mean, I would say most of these kids probably don't help bring in the groceries, watching how weak they are and the way they move, right? But, excuse me.
And since the lockdown, most of them haven't even been wearing a backpack on their back.
Correct. And that's another thing. So I always say, so you're afraid to put 5-pound dumbbells in your 9-year-old's hands, but you have no problem with them lugging around 40 pounds of textbooks 5 days a week. Cool. That's fine. That makes sense. And that's what I was getting at. So another thing that a lot of parents are still fearful of is like, oh, it'll stunt their growth, right? If you're a parent that believes that, I need you to do me a favor. Look in the mirror. What's your build? Are you tall? Are you short? Are you fat? Are you skinny? Are you athletic? I mean, that's a big thing too, right? So if you are a 5'2" male and you're 190 pounds and you've never played any sport past freshman ball, like I'm not even talking JV, right? It's probably not in the bloodline that your kid's gonna go to the fucking pros. So be realistic, right? The weights aren't stunting your kid's growth. Not to be a dick, it's your fault. He has your genetics. So half the problem lies within yourself. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with being that size. But be realistic about where you're going. Because what it leads to is improper self-assessment of your talent, your skills. There's a lot of kids that think that they're going to be D1 when they couldn't even fucking carry a jersey in D3. All right? And there's a lot of great D3 programs. The way that colleges are set up now, you're starting to see there aren't too many D2 schools around anymore. A lot of people are dropping down D3, so they don't have to give athletic scholarships out. They want the kids to earn the academic ones and then compete in the sports. And there's some serious D3 programs out there. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't even come down to that anymore, all right? A lot of pro baseball players are getting their start. They play D2, D3 baseball. So check the mirror. Make sure you know what you're dealing with first before you assume that, your 5'1" self is going to have a 6'6" child. Because, if you're a dude and you believe that, you're not the father.
And let's take that 5'2", 190-pound man, 5'2", my height, 190-pound man. If you were to just get that person walking, moving all that extra body weight on that smaller frame, shorter frame, mm-hmm. If we were to do a body comp analysis with that person just walking, but it just goes to show you that they would actually put on lean mass just by walking, correct? Mm-hmm. To an extent. So they're moving all that extra body weight and they're just walking, maybe at a standard pace for a certain amount of time. They're not using barbells, they're not using dumbbells, they're not using anything extracurricular but the extra body fat that they've put on their body over the years. If we were to get that body comp assessment every week, every 2 weeks, maybe every month, just by them moving all that extra fat, they would start to create all that good stress on the inside, compact themselves, reduce that body fat, and put on that lean mass and build bone in a good way, mm-hmm. right? So that's exactly what these children, 8 years and up, high school students, college students, are doing when they start training with programs like us, mm-hmm. with just the fundamentals, properly programmed, properly coached, right? Mm-hmm. Not crazy shit that they see on Instagram, right? So they're actually using standard equipment, even if it's just their body, to create good stress and have them become more resilient, in a sense more compact from the inside, so that they can take the force on the field or on the court or wherever they are, on the mat, wherever. create more of an athlete, something more durable, something that can handle it for longer periods of time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just with extra body fat, that extra weight that they have on their body. Not using any of the crazy equipment that they see, even if it is a barbell or a kettlebell. You know, that proves the point just in that sense.
If your kid does gymnastics, wrestling, football, and they're under 10 years old, you can't tell me that any of those things are much safer than an appropriate strength training program.
Mm-hmm.
If you think that speed and agility is all that your athlete needs, then you're looking at it all wrong, because it's not to say that speed and agility doesn't work, but it doesn't need to be 100% in the program 100% of the time, right? Every athlete does need to know how to move better and sprint faster, but doing that every single day, I mean, as adults, you don't work every fucking day. You don't work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. You'd be fucking dead. You'd be burnt out. So what makes you think that athletes need to do the same exact fucking thing every fucking day? Doesn't make sense. So, and if you want your kids to play in college, guess what? This might be breaking news to some of you. They're going to lift weights when they get there.
Mm-hmm.
So why not make sure they're ahead of the curve and actually knowing how to do things properly, which usually gets them a better look from their coaches when they get to college. They're like, oh shit, Rachel clearly knows how to squat. I think we have a real athlete here. She might get more playing time her freshman year just because of that. I mean, it doesn't hurt to be faster, stronger, and bigger. It never hurts.
And they're in for a rude awakening if they end up not lifting and then they head to college. They're so far behind at that point.
Mm-hmm.
We hear that from all of our athletes that have headed into college, and they're in college. They're stronger as freshmen and sophomores than the juniors and seniors are on their team. They're blowing them away. I mean, that in itself says a lot too. Talk about confidence.
So,
You know?
yeah, definitely don't fear your kids getting stronger, right? If you're against your kids getting stronger, then I guess you're pro them getting picked on. It's like if they're not going to get stuffed in a locker during the school day, they will get their ass knocked on the floor in their games just because they can't handle it. Someone will fucking look at them the wrong way and blow, and your kid will fall and break a bone. Weak things break. I always say it. Weak things break. Build a stronger body.
What about your immune system? We all know the research is there too, with even through the lockdown, getting that training in, getting that exercise in, especially the strength training, it stimulates your immune system in such a way you become so much more resilient. You can handle the stress wherever it's coming at you.
I mean, Destroyer. I mean, what did the training do for you, for your tennis career? I mean, you were just playing tennis at Nanuet. Then after even just like a year at Overdrive, people were like, is that Andy Roddick? That serve was like 1,000,000 miles per hour.
I mean, to be fair, in an honest way, I had knee problems going into varsity tennis that never came up once I was training.
That's huge.
I never had to leave the court with a knee injury or even just knee tenderness or anything because I was ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's huge.
Yeah.
That's
and like,
huge.
you knew you weren't gonna be on the WTA, right? Or the ATP, whatever the fucking pro circuit is now called. I don't even remember.
Yeah.
But the whole point is like, that's no excuse to not want to be a better athlete.
Yeah. It's good to be healthy. It's actually pretty fun.
Yeah, I heard that's a pretty good thing, to be
Seriously.
healthy.
Healthy is in.
Yeah.
Healthy and employed.
Yeah.
Well, those aren't in right now, but they should be.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Anything else to add? I think Brejol is,
Oh, thank
he
you.
wants some more camera time.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, it is a lazy day in New York right now. But
It was 57 this morning when I got here. Oh, 57.
cold front.
This is compared to the 105 feel
Mhm.
the other day.
Yeah, that was awful. Computers actually stopped working in here.
Yeah.
They
Got so
they
hot.
couldn't
Oh my God.
receive any Wi-Fi signal. It got so hot, so I had to put a fan blowing on it now. I was like, what? It's never been that hot in here.
Yeah, I think that had to have been one of the worst ones we've had in some time now.
Absolutely, hands down. Anything else to add?
Strength train consistently. Yes.
You heard it.
Strength train consistently. And don't be afraid to start the kids early because they need it. They really do. They really do.
So, just your weekly reminder, if you want the best supplements in the game, you need to hit up Prestige Labs. All right. And if you want our discount, which can get you up to 40% off on the best supplements in the game, then head over to overdrivefitnessny.com, click on Prestige Labs, and you'll automatically get those discounts applied to you once to your items, your products, before they even hit the cart. Okay. They are high quality and guaranteed to get you to success with a proper nutrition and training program. All right, so again, Prestige Labs, check them out. Their cookies and cream protein just was released recently, and it is thebomb.com.
Everyone says it's delicious too. Yeah, not just us. I'm just saying,
Mhm.
our members and athletes, they love it.
And no protein farts. So, I mean, it's worth every fucking
That's
penny.
huge,
Yeah. People don't realize, the lack of protein farts is a very big deal. It's worth the investment.
And if you're having an unexpected guest and they're sleeping over, don't worry.
I feel attacked.
I'm just saying, no fear.
So
That
that's
could
all
be a selling point.
that could be. Yes. It'll go back to our poop episode.
I'll be right there. I gotta have my shake.
Why don't you stay in that room for another half hour by yourself? All right, so that wraps up this week's episode of Overdrive AF. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy your Independence Day weekend. I hope you had a great one by the time you hear this episode.
Yes.
And we'll catch you guys next time.